Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So I've done a few bite alarm reviews over the years and I've had a few questions from people asking about the snag ears on them. What are snag ears and why would you need them when fishing? So in this video I'm going to do my best to explain what snag ears are on bite alarms and why you would use them when fishing. Okay, so these are my bite alarms. I've got this one here which has sort of built-in snag ears which protrude from the top here, and then I have another one here which has snag ears that screw on. You can remove these. They've got short ones on here and there's also longer ones, so they all have the same function to different degrees. They're all designed to stop the rod coming off the bite alarm. So I have different types because I tend to use these for general carp fishing and this one for coarse fishing. This is kind of a backup bite alarm. But anyway, let's get into why you would need these. So generally when you're carp fishing or even fishing for catfish, you're fishing for fish that are quite strong, and when they take the bait you know about it. They can be quite powerful. So you not only need to allow the line to run so that the line doesn't break potentially, but you need to make sure that your rod doesn't get pulled into the water. So the first solution for that would be the Baitrunner reel. If you'd like to know more about how a Baitrunner reel works for carp fishing, I'll leave a link to a video all about that explains that in more detail. But for now we'll focus on the bite alarms and the snag ears. So Baitrunner reels are great to allow line to run so that the fish, when it's hooked, say with a bolt rig or a running rig, the fish is hooked and it gives you a chance to get to the rod and then strike and then start to play the fish. But the situations, these are called snag ears, so the name suggests in snaggy situations, the situations where there might be tight space or there might be snags that you are aware of. For example, there might be a weed bed or there might be some fallen tree branch somewhere, and when the fish takes the bait, you know that it's very likely that the fish is going to go towards that snag. So it's a bit different to, usually you would allow the fish to run in open water, but if you don't want to allow the fish to run too much, then when the fish comes to that snag, you want to get onto the rod, and there's going to be a chance, a danger that the fish is going to pull your rod into the water. So for those situations, you want some sort of barrier to stop the rod pulling off the bite alarm. I've had situations where even in open water this has happened, and the take has been so violent that the line has actually ate into the bite alarm here. So you'd be surprised how strong carp can be when they take off. So what these ears do, these snag ears, if you get a very violent take and you're not allowing a lot of line to come off the reel, so say you've got the clutch set quite tight on your Baitrunner reel or your standard reel, so when the fish takes the bait there's quite a bit of resistance there. You don't want it to go into that snag. You want just enough time to get to the rod, so you've got some resistance there to give you a chance to grab the rod before it pulls the rod into the water or gets into that snag. These will just prevent the rod, which is going to be in here, from pulling up and over and off the bite alarm and then into the water. This is just a little barrier. These ones are for sort of less violent takes, and then you've got the bigger ones just to make sure, as you can imagine, and you've got these really long ones on, the rod really just can't get off. It can pull forward and line can be taken, but it can't be pulled off. So as long as your bank stick or your rod pod is nice and sturdy, these long ears will prevent the rod from going into the water and protecting your tackle from getting lost and you losing fish. So snag ears are used generally in spots where the snags about and you're carp fishing, you're fishing on the bottom for fish with a bite alarm, and you're worried about that rod potentially getting pulled in because you might have the clutch set a bit tight on your reel just so that the fish doesn't run too much. Good for night fishing too. just that extra bit of security to make sure your rod doesn't end up in the water. So I would advise, if you're into your carp fishing, that you get either a bite alarm that's got built-in snag ears like this one, or just get one where you can screw the snag ears on. They can save you hassle. I've had a situation before where the rod has gone in because I've had a phone call just at the time when I've had a bite and the rod's gone in. I've took my eye off the rod without snag ears, and then I've had to fish the rod out of the water. It's quite difficult to do that when you've got a fish on. I did get the fish in and there was no problems, but you want to avoid that. So this is just an extra security measure to make sure your rod doesn't end up in the water. If you're interested in buying this particular bite alarm with the built-in snag ears, it's very cheap. So if you're just getting into fishing, you don't want to spend too much, could be a good option for you. I think it's a good bite alarm for the money. I'll leave an affiliate link, an Amazon affiliate link, in the description box of this video. If you use that link, that gives me a small commission to help the channel to keep it going at no extra cost to you. Okay, so that is about it for this video. I hope that clears it up for you. If you're thinking about using these, whether or not you need them, I hope I've explained why you might need these. Very useful tool when fishing, and I like to use mine now and again, not always. If I'm fishing in open water, I tend not to use them, but they're good if you need them. As I say, some have built-in snag ears on them, some bite alarms, and some you can sort of add on. Like this one, you can just screw them on, so you can always take them off if you don't need to use them. So if you did find this video useful, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more fishing related videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.